Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Language Arts Gallery. Today, we're going to continue talking about the comparative essay. And today, I want to focus on how we develop great body paragraphs and how within those body paragraphs, we use language for comparing and contrasting effectively. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so let's review. What exactly is a comparative essay? In a comparative essay, we're comparing and contrasting two things. We're going to talk about what's being compared, why this comparison's important. We're going to talk about how we're comparing this thing, and that's the points of comparison. Remember, in this particular series of essays, we are following the point by point method. Some of my other videos, we've talked about the block method of comparative writing, but in this series, we're going to learn the point by point method. When we're comparing these things, we're going to talk about in what ways they're similar and different. And of course, we want to give details and examples to develop those points of comparison. So with a 5 paragraph essay approach, that is going to look like this. We've got our introduction where we're going to engage the reader, talk about what's being compared, why it's important, what our 3 points of comparison are, and give our thesis statement or our argument. And we talked about that in our last video. Throughout our 3 body paragraphs, now this is what we're going to focus on today. We are going to make comparisons and contrast based on each point of comparison. If you've only got 2 points of comparison, then you're going to only have 2 body paragraphs. It's a good idea to aim for 3. If you've got more, then you're going to have more body paragraphs. And finally, in our conclusion, which we're going to discuss in more detail in our next video, we're going to signpost, restate our topic, significance, and points of comparison, restate our thesis, and then leave our reader with a final thought. So this is our mentor text here. I'm going to let you pause the video and go over that so you have the opportunity to see what a comparative essay looks like. And then we're going to go into more detail about the body. All right, so let's take a look at these body paragraphs here. In our introductory paragraph, we talked about the topics and the points of comparison. Remember, the topics are the two things that are being compared, and the points of comparison are the manner or the way in which that we're comparing these two topics. Now, remember, each point of comparison, as I said, is going to get its own body paragraph. So let's go back to that mentor text and take a look at this. So we can see here I've got highlighted in blue for my 3 body paragraphs. I've got each point of comparison. And remember, our essay is talking about good and bad teachers. That's what we've been discussing with our students, which students love. They really get a kick out of comparing what they think are good teachers versus what they think are bad teachers. Sometimes they enjoy talking about the bad teachers a little too much. But when we go here and we look at each of these body paragraphs, I can see how they treat students right here. That is my first topic of comparison. How they explain lessons. That's my second topic of comparison. And how they help students who are struggling. That's my third topic of comparison. Now, one thing that is important to note is that the first sentence of each body paragraph tells us the topic of comparison. That first sentence is called the topic sentence. Now, this extends throughout all our genres of academic writing. A good paragraph should have a good topic sentence. So in that first body paragraph, it says one way good teachers differ from bad teachers is how they treat students. This supports the thesis statement, right? The thesis statement talks about differences. It says that there are stark differences between good and bad teachers. So I expect my topic sentences to to align with that thesis statement. And I've got here a good paragraph is topic sentences plus supporting details. Now I want to take a look at what some supporting details might look like. Now I've got my topics of comparison or my topic sentences there in blue, and in yellow, the rest of the paragraph gives more information about this topic. So I'm going to take a look here. Let's take a look at the second one. It says another key difference between good and bad teachers is how they explain lessons. Then it goes on to talk about details related to this topic. Good teachers explain ideas clearly and in more than one way. If students do not understand, they slow down and give examples. On the other hand, bad teachers often explain lessons too quickly or only once. They may move on even when students are confused. This makes it easier for students to learn from good teachers, while bad teachers can make lessons harder to understand. So all of those details that are highlighted in yellow, they give information about the differences between how good and bad teachers explain lessons. And again, that all goes back to supporting that thesis statement that good and bad teachers exhibit tremendous differences. Okay, so I should see that in each of those body paragraphs. So let's look at this topic sentence. There are stark differences in how good and bad teachers communicate with students. Okay, so this is something that is outside the scope of our topics of comparison. I want you to pause the video and think of how you might support this. Think of supporting details to show how good teachers communicate with students and how bad teachers communicate with students. And ultimately, that should prove the thesis statement that there are differences between good and bad teachers. Okay, let's come back here. So ultimately, and this is, I know, a little bit more difficult when we're talking about comparative writing because we've got a lot of moving parts, but we want to make sure everything lines up. I always tell my students, you want to connect the dots. We've got a thesis statement that's focusing on differences, so I expect the body paragraphs to focus on differences. Okay, we don't want to give examples that focus on comparisons if we're talking strictly about differences. If we're going to talk about similarities and differences in our body paragraph, then our thesis statement needs to reflect that. So we want to make the comparisons and the contrasts that we're giving in our body paragraphs easily visible to our reader. Remember, English is a writer responsible language. So ultimately, as writers, it's up to us to ensure that our audience understands what we're talking about. We don't want to leave it up to them to interpret the meaning. So we want to use signal words or language for comparison and contrast that clearly indicates our purpose. So let's talk about some language for comparing. Good teachers have spent a lot of time preparing for their job. Similarly, bad teachers needed to do a lot of preparation to teach. This word, similarly, helps the reader to know that I am making a comparison. So when we're comparing two things, we're talking about how they're the same. So we can use language like in the same way, along the same lines, likewise, similarly, both, also, or like. So you can pause the video here and you can go ahead and take this sample sentence at the bottom and you can change it around using different language for comparing. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about language for contrasting. Let's look at this example. If students do not understand, they slow down and give examples. The author is talking about good teachers here. On the other hand, bad teachers often explain lessons too quickly or only once. So the signal phrase, on the other hand, helps us to know that we're talking about differences. Many students use the words but or however, which is fine. Those are totally acceptable, but it's always good to add some variety to our writing. So we can use phrases like, however, but, on the other hand, although, on the contrary, while or whereas. So I might say, While good teachers are patient, bad teachers are impatient. Whereas good teachers are good communicators, bad teachers are ineffective communicators. And I can also use the phrase in contrast to. So let's get some practice with this. I want you to pause the video and I want you to complete these sentences using the words in the word bank here. Now, some words or phrases will fit in different sentences. That's okay. And if you find you want to use a word more than once, that's okay too. So pause the video and complete that, and then we'll go over the answers. Okay, so now let's come back and look at the answers here. I can say both good and bad teachers prepare lessons for their classes. Good teachers encourage students to ask questions. However, bad teachers sometimes discourage questions. Like good teachers, bad teachers give homework to their students. So there I use the word like, I'm making a comparison. Good teachers engage with students. Likewise, bad teachers interact with students every day. So likewise is a word that I'm going to use to make a comparison. While good teachers are supportive, bad teachers are often unapproachable. Whereas good teachers are patient, bad teachers are easily frustrated. In contrast to bad teachers, good teachers give helpful feedback. Good teachers have curriculum to teach. In the same way, bad teachers must follow the curriculum. Okay, so now that we've gone over what a good body paragraph looks like and what language should be included in that body paragraph, you're ready to work with a graphic organizer. Now, I've got a graphic organizer here, okay, and I am going to share this with you here. Okay, and you can find this as well as the complete PowerPoint lesson in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. That's linked in the video description. Here, I want you to, or your students to, list their points of comparison related to their two topics, and then I want them to outline those body paragraphs. Okay, I want them to think about what a good topic sentence is for each body paragraph. If they're focusing on differences, each body paragraph each is going to have a topic sentence. Each topic sentence is going to focus on differences. Okay, and then within each body paragraph, you've got supporting details. We've got a word bank down here that contains that comparative language that we've talked about. So students should have all the tools that they need to effectively put together a great body paragraph for a comparative essay. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. Please remember to subscribe to my channel so you get all the videos in this series of lessons, as well as all of my academic writing and creative writing lesson materials. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.